My name is Corinna, and I'm so happy to welcome you to this lunchtime music meditation with Beginner's Ear. I'm thrilled to have three wonderful musicians performing today, Jen Shyu, Gamin, and Kaoru Watanabe, and to once again have Thomas Droge in charge of the silence and meditation. And I'm so thankful for WQXR for making this possible, and also the Jerome L. Green Foundation for their support. What would happen if we spent the same kind of care and consciousness on the active listening as performers lavish on the music? Like, how much more might we hear? And how might that even affect the performance itself? That those are some of the questions that have inspired me to create Beginner's Ear. The term is borrowed from the Zen concept of beginner's mind, which denotes a kind of ideal state of openness to the moment, to what is coming at us in terms of experiences free of preconceptions and mental constructs. So there is an act of generosity that is always part of any true listening, and I thank you for bringing that into the room. Speaking of, I invite you to send a little bit of love in the direction of your very hardworking cell phones, and maybe grant them a power nap as well, or send them into airplane mode. I promise you they will be grateful and refreshed at the end of the hour. I'm going to hand over to Thomas now. He's going to lead us through a 10-minute guided mindfulness practice. And then out of that beautiful silence that we're going to create, the music is going to emerge, do its thing, and go back into the silence. And when you hear a final chime, that's the invitation for us to come back out of the meditation space and connect over just a few minutes of conversation and questions. Thomas will guide you through it. There are really no don'ts. If you feel comfortable, by all means, close your eyes. If not, you can always open them. And if you need to shift or cough or sneeze, nobody will mind. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the other side.
Our artists are coming up. Do you guys have me? Am I alive? Can everybody hear me? Oh, okay, there we are. Thank you, Corinna, as always, for having me here to do this. We are on the edge of the Lunar New Year, and it's a wonderful time to step into a new experience. The second new moon after the winter solstice is the birth of spring for us in our Taoist tradition, and it's a great time to emerge into the new life energy of spring, and I think these guys are going to bring us an amazing experience. Thank you, wonderful musicians. So let's find a place of comfort. Let your chair do your work for you, so you can just sit upright. You'll hear a bell at the beginning of our practice and at the end of the music. So close your eyes. Let your breath be smooth and even. Let your muscles just settle. Make any shifts you need to make in your alignment and position in the chair to really find a place of comfort. Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth to bring yourself into the room. And as you exhale, let the body just soften and release a little bit. We're going to bring our attention to the breath throughout the practice as a centering point. There's no effort. Just easefully, when you find your mind wandering off into thoughts and stories, come back to the guidance of the breath and let it Be like a river bringing your awareness to the inside of your body. Bring your attention to the muscles in the forehead. Let your forehead just soften and relax. Come down into the eyes. And feel the muscles of focus. Just let go with your exhale. The eyes relaxing into a soft inner gaze. As you follow the breath in, let the muscles of the face soften. The jaw unhinging and letting go into a comfortable, relaxed space. Let the muscles of your neck find a place where the head can balance neutrally and the effort of the neck muscles can let go. Allow that ease to give your head a sense of lightness and balance. Feel the gentle rise of the chest on the inhale. Its fall on the exhale. Let the muscles of your stomach relax, and on your next breath in, let the abdomen just fill up easily. Drawing your breath naturally deeper and with less effort. Let the left shoulder come into your awareness for a moment and feel the muscles of the shoulder on the left side resting, finding a neutral place of ease and comfort. The left arm, the left elbow opening, the left forearm and wrist, left hand and fingers, finding a nice, easeful place. Bring your attention to the right shoulder. Using your breath, let the right shoulder find its natural resting place of comfort and ease. Let the doing of the shoulder pause for this time we're together. Feel the right upper arm relaxing, the elbow on the right side opening. The right forearm relaxing, the right wrist and hand softening and finding an easeful place to rest. Come into the left hip and the right hip. Together, let them find a comfortable seated place. Let gravity help you find a nice, easy alignment. The left upper leg, the right upper leg. Taking any effort out of sitting. Letting your energy and your breath pour down through the legs, the left knee and right knee opening, the left lower leg and right lower leg, releasing their weight down through the ankle into the feet softening and connecting to the ground. Feel your body in this place of soft, open, creative reception. As your intent and your breath, together with everyone in the room, co-creates a space of exploration and community.
Thank you so much. It's hard to find words after going so deep into a place that seems so far removed from where we are. Thank you to the musicians for really transporting us to a very special place. And Thomas for setting the path there. I would love to hear from each of you three, if you could maybe just introduce the instruments that you played and maybe give us a word or two about what it was like creating music out of the silence and that was playing with the silence in the room. Kaoru, do you want to start? And do we have a... Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Kaoru Watanabe. I perform Japanese various percussion instruments. This large drum is called the taiko. I think a lot of people may have questions about this. Is called the rain fan, ameuchiwa, and it's used in kabuki theater to create the sound of rain. And I have bamboo flutes called the shinobue, various scales and usages in both traditional and contemporary Japanese music.
My name is Jen Shyu. I brought just a couple of my tools. This is a gwatkim, which is translated to moon lute or thing or instrument. And gwat in Taiwanese means moon, and kim, it is literally a thing. But most instruments end in that word. In Chinese, it'd be yue qin. So because it is moon-shaped. This particular one was made in Hengchun in Taiwan, which is a village, township in southern Taiwan, where there is a rich tradition of particularly Hengchun minyao or Hengchun folk song. And I also brought with me kamanak from Java, and they are differently tuned. And so I was playing them kind of separately. Usually it takes two people to play these. And usually it is played with gamelan and almost always with sacred dance or any court dance that you have watched or have seen. So so these are my tools that I brought for today. Oh, yeah.
Hi, my name is Gamin. I play Korean wind instrument. So first, I played this instrument. It's called hun. It's kind of ocarina, but very ancient version. It used to play in ritual music in ancient time. And then I played this bamboo flute. We call danso. Dan means short, and so means bamboo. So because we have longer bamboo flute, so it's called danso. I play this one. And my main instrument is piri. This is another bamboo flute, but it has reed, so different types of flute. So it has double reed and made of bamboo. And I have thin bamboo flute too. So I switched these ones to make some balance. So thinner one make a little bit softer sound. So we call it 새피리. 새 means thin. 새피리, and this is 향피리. 향 means home or Korean. So I have two different versions of piri. And this one is only instrument that I can make chord. Usually Korean music doesn't have chord, but this one can make harmony. It is called 생황. There is Chinese version sheng and Japanese version sho. This is Korean 생황. Made of bamboo also, and it has 17 pipes, so which means each 17 bamboo pipe can make note. And actually the material has changed, but ancient time it was originally made of gold. So it is a little bit changed material, but it's an ancient instrument. It has very old history. Thank you.
So you were just talking about how a lot of the music, a lot of the instruments that you have make just one sound at a time. And one thing that really struck me listening to some of the, especially the opening sounds, which were a lot of sustained long notes, was that they managed to be both a single note and a lot of waves. Like there's a lot of undulation and pulsating that is sort of in, so that these things always seem to have like this dual nature of both kind of being and going somewhere. And from within the state that I was listening, I thought that was really a very beautiful way to get us into the world of sounds out of silence, and also quite different, I felt, to some of the things that we prize in Western music, where we have more sustained, kind of polished sound that is uniform all the way through. Right? Is that something that you can like talk about, how maybe Jen, like how you shape music out of that duality of the single thing and the motion within it?
I think the undulating, the vibrato, especially coming from a singer point of view, has a lot of meaning and has a lot of power, and it's all about the breath and the way you control your breath, the way you distribute it, and have it, change the nature of the sound and the texture. So today I was particularly drawing from Javanese singing, and also a little bit from Korean pansori, but just in I kind of deconstructed vowels and consonants, but and then I kept it at a kind of very low volume, because pansori can be very loud over and powerful, but I kept it low for the purposes of today. So, and I was mainly making up the syllables, but I definitely was singing some particular text in Javanese that is accompanied with a sacred dance called Budoyo, and particularly one for this, it's called Pangkur. So I was using just a little bit of the text. And then in Korean, I was playing with the words 천개, 우주, which is like the opening of the sky and the universe. And it's usually sung in binari, and it's usually used as a blessing. So, and those two different traditions are so different vocally. And typically Javanese singing is very high and very focused, and at least in binari is huskier and yeah. So I think vibrato, and I was really listening to how they were also straight tone and vibrato, and but yeah, it is really about the breath, which is
Kaoru, can you talk a little bit as playing on the transverse flutes, like how that undulation, to what extent it's a function of technique, and to what extent you bring in expression to make those things?
Sure. It's interesting that I think like all of my instruments are designed to be very loud, actually. And I know that gamin's as well, like the PD and some other instruments that she didn't bring, there's also some of the instruments she has, are also designed to pretty much always to be played loud. My instruments, whether they're used in festival music or in theater music, it's, for either outdoors or for large theaters. So I think it was something, as the three of us we're used to using our instruments in very different ways. And so we've all studied a lot of traditions, but then also exploring how to kind of deconstruct their use and kind of transform the sound of them. Having said that, like the fundamental idea of how to create sound is something that comes from the training, from the traditions. And so like the use of the vibrato, kind of similar to what Jen was saying, there's even within Japanese music, there's so many different traditions. And so I was kind of channeling at certain points, northern Japanese folk music, for example, which has, the north is very cold. And so it's known to be very harsh, like especially the winters are very harsh and the people are very robust. So there's a lot of kind of pride in that. And then there are other times when I was kind of taking it to Okinawa, where it's much more warmer, more relaxed climates. And so in that way, I'm kind of like drawing on a lot of different, both geographic, traditions, philosophies, and while listening to these sounds and kind of being aware of all the yellow cabs and Ubers rushing by and trying to kind of incorporating all that energy into the sound. So, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see, were there any questions? Does anybody want to share what the experience was like for them? Are there any comments from our listeners, our co-creators? Yeah. Let me just give you
Is it improvisational, or is it completely improvisational, or is there any score, any underlying structure that you were holding the improvisation on?
Pretty much all improvised. I mean, except like for me, there's certain text that I was using, but I was kind of reshaping it in the context. So there's a very set melody, but I was kind of altering it. Especially I remember one moment with the Senghuang. So I was like kind of fitting it into her harmony. But yeah, as usually I'm an improvising vocalist, so it's kind of easy to do that. But I think we're all improvisers, so we're very used to creating the structure as we go, and yeah.
The only bit of structure that we really had was Jen was like, at 1:10, let's stop playing, and I realized that afterwards that my watch was slow. And she kept looking at me like, why? Sorry,
I was gazing at you. I was gazing at your beautiful flute playing. But,
well, on that note, and mindful that we're in the middle of a Friday in the middle of Manhattan, thank you so much for creating space for silence and sounds. And thank you, Kaoru, Jen, and Gamin, for your beautiful art. And I hope to see many of you back again next week. Will be piano music from our time, beautiful pieces by Philip Glass, Julia Wolfe, Hannah Lash, and Julian de la Chica, a composer who will join in on one of the pieces himself. And then February brings very different repertoire as well. There'll be some Baroque trio sonatas, there will be romantic four-hands piano music, and a very rare New York sighting of a wonderful classical guitarist from Russia called Artyom Dervoed. So please check the website, and I hope to see many of you again. And thank you so much for being open to this. Thank you.